にちは、皆さん。I'm Great Oka United Empire。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるんですよ。みんな、ブローキンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 55. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here with our co-host, Rome, our reigning, defending Broken Predictions champion. How you doing tonight, Rome?
I'm doing good.
Excellent, excellent. All right, I am missing my remote control here, but we are still good. Sorry about that.
What's going on, Big T? What's up, Coach?
Yeah, what's up, guys? All right, welcome to this AEW Rampage Fyter Fest review. This was a great night, too. I thought it was great for being on an episode of Rampage. What did you think about this one here, man?
Yeah, I thought it was a really entertaining show. Had a good time watching it. There were some things I liked more than other things, but, you know, cool. Good show.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually got to say, I love Lee Moriarty after tonight, man. Like, I used to be kind of like nonchalant about him. Like, okay, he's a good mid-carder, but after tonight, man, I want to see some more Lee Moriarty for some reason.
I wouldn't say my opinion of Lee Moriarty's changed, but I don't dislike Lee Moriarty.
Yeah. I just thought he had a great match tonight. You know, I was a little bit impressed.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's go ahead and just get right into it here. I'll start it off with Dark Order, Silver and Reynolds versus the House of Black, Brody King and Malachi Black. You know, I actually really enjoyed this match. It seemed like the crowd enjoyed it as well. I know the Dark Order's been very stale lately, you know. It is what it is at the moment. But I felt like any time that we get John Silver in the ring, it's always an awesome time, you know what I mean?
Sure. I don't dislike John Silver, but here's the thing, right? I actually had a problem with this. So, like, it really sucked to see the Dark Order versus a team. Your video just went away on the feed, by the way.
Yep, you're good.
It sucked to see the Dark Order be like in the ring with the House of Black, and the House of Black is just so fucking cool, and the Dark Order's just not. And I was just like, I don't know, like there's something about this dynamic of having like the Dark Order and the House of Black for me that just bummed me out about the Dark Order, where I was like, man, the House of Black are so fucking cool, their entrance is cool, everything they do is cool, and like these two factions are more or less doing the you know, the group gimmick of, you know, I mean, the Dark Order used to be what the House of Black is now. But I don't know, it bummed me out. It was a good match. It's nothing against Silver and Reynolds, but I was just kind of bummed out watching this because I was like, Brody King and Malachi Black are just so fucking cool, and Julie Hart is just so cool.
Yeah.
And I love that faction. I love that group. I love that team. Everyone in that group kills it, and you know, Dark Order in comparison, for me, the Dark Order doesn't hold, like, they shouldn't even be in the same ring as the House of Black. That's how I felt about it.
I mean, you got to have some jobbers, man. Like, I think that they belong in the ring with them, but I do believe they should have got beat up a little more.
That's the problem. Dark Order shouldn't be jobbers, but they are. They are. It's just like,
they
all
are.
right, well.
They're literally the job squad, bro. Like, they are.
They are, but again, I'm coming from it in a sense that, like, I think the Dark Order should be something specific. I think that they should be more than jobbers, so I'm going to hold that expectation.
Yeah, we'll get there. Hopefully, we're gonna get there one day. We shall see.
I don't know.
You know, and it's kind of funny that I said job squad there because I didn't even really think about that too much. But if you look at Alex Reynolds, and I think his name was Keith Richards. What was Richards' first name? The guy that was with the Blue Meanie a lot. the guy who gave
No,
JBL
Stevie Richards.
Stevie Richards, that's
Richards.
his name.
As
Him
a
and
Philly
Alex
guy,
Reynolds look
well, you're not a
very,
Philly guy. I was
very
gonna say, as a
similar.
Philly guy, you should know that, but you're not a Philly guy, so it's
I'm
fine.
not. I'm a Vegas guy. I'm sorry.
You
I
are,
live in
right?
Philly
Yeah.
now, but you know.
I know.
So yeah, this match, I thought this was a decent match. I really enjoyed the spot where the Dark Order tried to do their chain offense, where they fire off all that offense real fast, but Brody King stopped Reynolds from stopped Silver from doing the suplex. But Reynolds hit him with a super kick to assist in the German suplex. That was a really nice spot. Yeah, so the House of Black comes back and hits the Dante's Inferno. For the win. They get the win here. And as they're walking off stage, I didn't see this coming. I just thought they were killing some time, but Darby dives off the top of the heel tunnel out of nowhere and takes out Brody King. Him and Brody King start brawling on the ramp, and Malachi attempts to come down to assist, but Sting comes out of the tunnel. And they just have one of the coolest face-offs that I have seen on Rampage almost ever.
Yes. So this was a fucking excellent moment.
Yeah.
This was so cool. It's just that stare down between Malachi Black and Sting was just epic. And if we're gonna be getting that as a face-off, maybe as a match down the line, I doubt it'll be a complete singles match, but it would be nice to get a singles match out of that. Yeah, man, it's just. It's awesome. It was an awesome stare down, with Darby being Darby. Again, this moment is just everything that you love about these guys. Everything you love about Darby. Whether it's Darby diving off the ramp or the top of the entranceway, or Sting and Malachi Black having a stare down. Brody King's in there too, and they're just brawling while the fans are freaking out. That's a moment right there. That's a moment that they did on Rampage, which it's really cool because there is criticism that they kind of hold those moments for Dynamite, for live TV. But no, this was a really awesome moment that they did on Rampage. And it was epic.
I thought it was so well done. The way you got Sting on without a match, it was just great.
Yeah, absolutely. The coach in the chat was saying that Dark Order looks like a joke to him.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what. Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? It's okay to be funny, but I don't know. It bums me out because I just think you're doing such a disservice to Brody Lee. I really think you are. I understand you're paying tribute in a lot of ways, and they have to be baby faces, but I think we're at a point now where you're doing more of a disservice to his vision and his name than you are homage.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
But Big T says he thinks it's leading to Bray because watching the match, you could see him doing an 8 mixed tag match. Yeah. We've been thinking this for a while, so that's why we keep saying we're gonna let it play out, because hopefully we get Bray sometime here in the future, and he brings the Dark Order to a point where they have a purpose, they have a leader, they have direction. And for me, I see them as a joke right now as well, because I watch a lot of BTE, and they're just over the top with the funny stuff on BTE. So it's real hard to take them serious, at the moment. But
that's not the problem I have with them, because I watch BTE every week and I understand that what BTE is, and it's okay. Again, I don't have an issue with Dark Order being funny. I think Dark Order on BTE is 8 out of 10 times really entertaining. I think John Silver is really funny, especially when he's the BTE champion. I think that I really miss a lot of the old gimmicks that they used to do, throwing the papers. I know that was a Brody thing, but it was I don't know, that the Dark Order's lost its shine. I mean, it's not just about the members leaving. It's just, we talk about it every week, and we're going to continue to talk about it because the Dark Order, they have an important spot in AEW. So we're going to continue to analyze it and kind of go through it, but it sucks to see.
Yeah. T, that's exactly what I want to happen. The current leader, you would assume, is kind of like Hangman-ish. It's technically -1, but of the wrestlers, it does feel like he's kind of like a little bit of their leader. I would love to see Bray come in and just destroy Hangman and start a feud that way. That would be incredible. Oh.
And my other problem is that I'm so mad that that like I just agree with everything QT Marshall says at this point. QT tweeted during Rampage, he's like, "Oh, I hope that the House of Black beat the Dark Order so that way like -1 cries." And I'm like, this man is speaking the truth. Like, uh, I don't know, like I hate saying it, but like I'm kind of starting to like dislike -1 because of the Dark Order. Like, and he's a kid, and I'm like, this isn't me like shitting on a kid or anything
Yeah.
like that, but it's like I just don't want to see him
Yeah,
until he's
I don't
18.
dislike him in any way. I just dislike his booking. He doesn't need to be booked yet. He's too young. You know, I get trying to bring him out to break him in for the ring. Like they're trying to make it to where when he's old enough, he's not scared of the ring and all that. So, you know, it's fine, but
I don't even know. No, it like what I dislike more so is like again the fact that he's their leader. The fact that he's their leader. It was one thing like when Brody passed. Rest in peace, Brody Lee. When Brody Lee passed, you know, and they were like -1 is our leader. Like that was really cool. You know, like
yeah.
that's fucking awesome. That's special. You know, that's something that you say to a kid when he goes through loss like that. You make him feel better. You make him feel included. You make him feel like he's the boss. I'm thinking that's fucking awesome. Excellent, right? It's been 3 years. It's like you're still doing this, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, okay. I understand, and like maybe in their eyes it's a little bit different because Brody -1 isn't there every week, but it's just like every time he comes out, he is this scrawny little kid who's just I don't know. I get it. And it was funny for a while, and it was really awesome and really sweet for a while.
Yeah, it lost
It's
its
soured.
yeah.
It's soured for me. That's a great way to put it. It was sweet and it has soured. It has really soured for me, and
It's a good way to put it.
yeah, I'm just tired of seeing it. You know, I think -1 is going to be great when he turns 18. I mean, I don't want to like put the cart in front of the horse and say he's going to be phenomenal or special.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Coach put it really well too. It's just getting old.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well, Nick.
Just played
Yep.
out. Yeah, it's time to stop and time to move on.
Yeah. And you know, I even wrote down that the post match angle was better than the match. Like
Yeah.
I loved that whole post match angle, the entire thing. You know, Darby jumping off the top and Sting coming out and facing with Malachi. That was great.
Yeah, that was special. That's how I would put it. It was special.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
the Dark Order had nothing to do with it.
Nope. Next up was a promo video package from Miro that confused me a little bit. You know, it
Why
was
every
pretty.
week? Or why do we?
I'm
do
confused
this every
all the
week?
time, man. I don't know what it is, but
It's
where did this Miro trying to want to join the House of Black come from? What is this?
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. How about yourself?
Jeff, there are moments in our friendship when the age gap becomes very apparent because I worry that you're getting senile. That's my concern.
No, I'm
I
just.
know that
I have
I
like a
gave the
natural
sun- I-
blonde, and I'm always confused, man.
here's the thing. I gave the sunglasses the night off. They're on vacation this week. So I don't have them. Actually, I don't have them because I left them in my car because we had a whole family emergency where the cat was in the animal hospital both last night and this morning, so I was a fucking mess. But that's why I don't have the glasses, so I can't do the glasses thing. But just imagine that I am. It's still heel realm here. Jeff, the thing is, right? Did you watch Forbidden Door?
I did. I was there.
I know you were there. That's what makes it worse. Malachi Black spit the black mist into Miro's face.
Okay, I did forget about that.
Yeah, I know you did. Again, I'm very concerned about you. You're getting older. We got to get you Life Alert. We got to get you all that stuff. We got to get that figured out. I'm younger than you, so I don't know any of that stuff. But you need to find somebody who can do that for you.
You know, I think I would like to feel like I wasn't being a smart fan for this feud where like I had actually forgotten he was sprayed in the eyes with the mist. So, you know, it's okay.
He got sprayed in the eyes with the black mist back at Forbidden Door, and that's why he did not win the All Atlantic Championship. Now, Miro basically in this promo is saying that ever since he's been sprayed with the black mist, which as we know, the black mist has corrupted everyone that's been sprayed with it. You know, either you join the Dark Order or the Dark Order. Fuck the Dark Order. You either join the House of Black or you become a piece of shit and go to WWE. That's what the Mist does.
Unless
And
you're
I don't
Penta.
think Miro is going
Penta
back
was
to
immune.
WWE. What was it?
Wasn't Penta immune somehow or something?
No, Penta became Penta Oscuro.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so he
And
corrupted him. Yeah.
no, it's more so Pac actually. Pac is immune because he's a bastard.
Yeah.
Anyways, when it affects you, shit changes. You basically become a darker version of yourself. So Miro is a super strong individual. The man is very, very powerful. Very powerful man. I don't even want to say man. He's very powerful. And so Miro is fighting the urge, and that's the problem. Yes, Big T, I know your version was shorter, but the problem is I have a show to put on. So I got a show to do, bro. Content, Big T, content. You know, this is hold on, tangent. This podcast and this show would suck if we were just like, if I just straight up read my notes and I was like, match 1, House of Black versus Dark Order. House of Black wins. They rule. Dark Order is sad. Darby dives. Black Sting stare
Darby
down.
dives.
Really, Black Sting stare down. Really cool. Segment 2. Like it sucks. So excuse me for the tangents. However, anyways, back on point. Back on track. Where was I? No. But so Jeff, Miro is sprayed by the mist, and he is currently very confused whether he should be joining the House of Black or not, because he feels the urge from the mist to join the House of Black.
That would have been the much simpler answer. So yeah, all right, now I remember the mist.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach. I love the tangents too. I think that's what makes the show fun.
So I like the idea behind this whole promo of, him and him feuding. I don't want him to join the House of Black though. I don't know if
I don't know if he will. But I don't know, man. I'd be fucking down. I'd be really down for House of Black to have Miro join.
I mean, yeah, I could see it, and it probably wouldn't upset me, but it just, I don't know. It just feels odd at the moment, but maybe. I just want to see Lana show up and him turn into a beast.
I understand. The one thing I would say is that something that Tony Khan does, and it's not a bad thing. Some people might not like it. I don't think it's a bad thing. Is Tony Khan loves factions. It is something that he very clearly has always been about. He loves throwing a stable. He loves making stables of guys. It helps make it makes rivalries last longer. It makes matchups stay fresh. You have a lot more pieces to work with for every feud you do. You can keep the storytelling going. At the end of the day, that's just the way it is. There aren't really a lot of lone wolves in AEW. There are some, but like most of the guys who are on TV week in and week out have friends. That's just the way it is. And again, it's not a bad thing. It leads to good matches. It leads to good storytelling. I have no problem with it. And again, I agree with the coach. The coach is like, factions are sick. He's glad they do them. I agree. I mean, we look back at wrestling back in the past, but like factions have always been fucking cool. Like if you're a good faction, like people like Jeff, your whole gimmick when this show started, like you were the Dark Order champion. You are the Dark Order champion.
Yeah.
Like the faction was so cool that you cosplayed as Evil Uno when we went to our first Dynamite show together.
Yep. I even got Cody Rhodes to join the Dark Order in my photo.
Well, Cody Rhodes is a bitch. I don't want to talk about Cody Rhodes. The dude is excited because he can bleed senselessly in WWE. Like that's gonna happen anyway. We'll talk about that later, by the way. No. Anyway, factions are cool. DX was cool because we would walk around crotch chopping. The NWO was cool. Coach just said it as soon as I said it. Growing up watching NWO faction was so cool. The NWO was cool. The DX is cool. Evolution was cool. Thank you, Big T. All hail King Rome. Factions are cool, man. I have a faction here on the podcast. It's me, Big T, and Jordan. That's right there. That's the faction here on the podcast.
DX was incredible, dude.
DX was awesome. I fucking love DX. It's one of my favorite things in wrestling of all time is D-Generation X.
the entire build to Stone Cold at WrestleMania with Mike Tyson,
Hey,
like that was one of the
factions are
greatest.
awesome.
Oh God, I loved it.
Right. And so I'm totally cool with Miro, getting back on track. I'm totally cool with Miro joining the House of Black because that is a scary, scary faction. Like
Dude,
that's right there. That's my favorite faction. Like we're talking like like that's competing. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite. It's hard because you got the Blackpool Combat Club right now, and you got the Elite still, and
yeah.
it's and Big T. Yes, I am gonna be picking up the mic a lot tonight because I do not have my glasses. They're in my car. So
It's all good. All right, so next up we had Lee Moriarty versus Jonathan Gresham, and we finally got to see Brian Cage on television again. Brian Cage came
I
out
wrote
along
that
with
down.
those other two monster guys. I forget their names at the moment.
Gates of
But
Agony.
yeah, the gate. Yes, you said Gates of Agony, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, those guys are scary, and with Brian Cage out there as well, that was a really, really mean looking faction right there, man. Tully Blanchard Enterprises is a force to be reckoned with coming up soon in Ring of Honor. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I also wrote that down. It was very cool to see Brian Cage. I wrote that down in my notes. It was like Brian Cage sighting. Yeah, this it's cool. It's a strong faction again. Here you go with factions. They matter. You can make a good faction. It's going to lead to some good pro wrestling. Um yeah, it was this was a really good wrestling match, a really entertaining wrestling match. Um Again, you were super impressed by Lee Moriarty here. I didn't see anything different than what I've normally seen. I mean, he's a very, very sound wrestler, and this was a really fun match to have on Rampage.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, Cage looks even bigger somehow. I agree, dude. That mohawk and just I don't know, I don't know if it's natural, man, but Jesus, he is a monster. That guy, if he's one of the scariest humans, I thought Miro was scary looking, but Brian Cage makes Miro look like a nice guy.
I don't know about that. I would argue the other way around still, but
So yeah, this was a pretty decent match. Jonathan Gresham, he had a unique groin shot in this match that, I'm sure most of you guys have done with your friends once in a while. He did the old nutsack flick with the back of the hand while the referee wasn't looking. Instead of the old uppercut or the kick to the groin, he just looked over real quick and he was like, whap, and he just kind of gave him the old whack. I thought that was really, really nice. I had never seen that in a wrestling ring before. Listen to me. I thought that was nice. I did not think that was nice, but it was a new, fresh way to do a groin shot. We'll put it that way.
yeah,
That was
sure.
awkward.
Big T, yeah. Jonathan Gresham, he is a short man. He is absolutely a very short man.
Yeah, I wrote that down here. I just can't get into Gresham very much because of no matter who he's wrestling, you just see this height discrepancy that I hate to say it, but it just makes me kind of like I want like a cruiserweight or something like that for him. Like I don't know what it is.
Here's the problem, right? So
Last week we referred to you as Vince McMahon like, and that was a very Vince McMahon like thing you just said.
What was a very Vince McMahon like thing?
You don't like the guy because he's short.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's a very Vince McMahon thing. What are you gonna say next? You're gonna say that Christian's face looks like a rat, and that's why you don't like Christian Cage? Like what? Like is that what's next for you?
I love me some Christian.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyways, no, I mean, yeah, it is a little jarring to see Jonathan Gresham. I'll admit. Thank you, Big
Yeah.
T. It is a little jarring. It absolutely is. But I don't think it's that bad. I think the guy's a really sound technical wrestler. And yeah, I don't really have an issue.
Don't get me wrong. The match was great. He's fantastic in the ring. It's just like when you see guys hit the ropes and like the top of his head is hitting the top rope. It just I can't help but see it, and like I almost giggle. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's funny. I don't get me wrong. I think he's great. Jonathan Gresham is fantastic in the ring. I wish there was some sort of other division for him rather than like actual Ring of Honor world champion, because That better be going to Claudio. That's all I can tell you.
So I'll say this. I think that's why Jonathan Gresham really represents what Ring of Honor, the vibe of Ring of Honor is meant to be.
True.
He's a very sound technical wrestler, and I wouldn't say that I don't know. He's a great fit for Ring of Honor in that sense. Like he fits there. The vibe really checks with that. And which makes sense. He loves Ring of Honor. He said it multiple times, like he wants to be a Ring of Honor guy. But
yeah, he's a pure wrestler.
Yeah, he's a pure wrestler. That's what it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like with my opinion of him, I feel like I'm being a dick. So it's like I don't want to feel this way about him.
Oh
it
yeah,
just,
no,
it just
absolutely.
Is.
You are being a dick.
I agree.
No, I mean, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, he's short. It's a little jarring, but I mean, I don't know. I
don't
think that really that doesn't affect my opinion of him as much as it does.
I think maybe they should focus on the submissions for him a little bit more, because I actually really enjoyed his submission to finish off the match. I don't think they said what it was called, but it was like some sort of octopus hold. He had him all wrapped up in different ways, and Lee Moriarty taps out. We get
that's his finisher is the octopus.
Is that what it's called? I just wasn't sure what it was called. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why he comes out with like the Cole Cthulhu.
Yeah, the Cthulhu mask. I love the mask, man. I know someone in chat mentioned they wish he would change that, but I love that mask. That's one of the only things I really enjoy about the guy. So after the match, Tony Schiavone gets in the ring to give a quick interview with him. Tully Blanchard is there as well. Gresham calls himself the best wrestler, and Tully calls himself the best wrestler as well. And whose music do we hear but Claudio Castagnoli? And we are going to be getting a match between Jonathan Gresham and Claudio at the pay-per-view Death Before Dishonor for the Ring of Honor Championship.
I have a little bit of a scoop.
What's that?
I got a little bit of a scoop for you.
Okay.
So this was the original plan for Claudio. He was gonna debut at Death Before Dishonor for the title against Gresham. He that was his plan. He was signed for that. This is coming via Dave Meltzer. So he said that was the plan, but obviously with Bryan Danielson being out, it just made that was the logical choice to go with, which it was. It absolutely was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Coach Nick, but they really like Gresham, man. They really do. So I'm not too sure what they're going to do there, but I say put it on Claudio for sure.
I mean, I agree. I think Claudio should win the Ring of Honor World Title. I think that's again, like that's another guy like we talk about Claudio like belonging in AEW. Like Claudio also is perfect fit for Ring of Honor. Like that's
absolutely.
That's a Ring of Honor kind of guy right there. Like it's just there's just something about that talent that's like that's Ring of Honor. That's Ring of that's honor bound as they call it, I believe.
100%.
But yeah, it's gonna be a really strong pay-per-view. I don't know if Big T got the tickets for that or not, but he's in for a good show if he is going.
Yeah, I'm almost jealous now when they announced this match. I was like, oh, and then we'll get to it later, but the FTR Briscoes match upgraded to a 2 out of 3 falls, man. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. That might be match of the year. There's a great chance that turns into match of the year.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I already have my match of the year picked, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, welcome everybody again who is watching with us live on YouTube. Thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. Please hit that subscribe button and the like button if you have not. Go ahead and type any questions you may have about the show here tonight in the chat. We pretty much answer every question thrown at us. Next up here was a quick Christopher Daniels promo on Jay Lethal. And man, you're going to pick up your microphone again because I wrote what with a question mark. Where does Christopher Daniels come from other than I was in Ring of Honor before? Now this is where something might have to be explained to me. Like, did he have history with these guys in Ring of Honor?
First of all, what's up, Sabak?
Hey, what's up, Sabak?
What's going on, man? Jeff. Christopher Daniels is a Ring of Honor legend.
I know this.
We are trying to sell a goddamn Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Okay? So they're going to do these Ring of Honor matchups. Literally the night that Tony Khan fucking bought Ring of Honor. Excuse the language. The night that the man bought Ring of Honor, what's the first thing that he did? He booked Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Goddamn Daniels. Okay, so he's going to do these Ring of Honor matchups. Christopher Daniels versus Jay Lethal is an extremely Ring of Honor match, and so he's going to do that. He's going to have a Ring of Honor matchups. Keep in mind, we're going to see Ring of Honor on a weekly basis soon. Like I don't think you realize the Death Before Dishonor is next weekend.
Oh wow, it's already next weekend?
Yeah, it's next weekend. Hold on, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, it's the 15th.
That came up quick.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to be live doing a post show of the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and we'll probably be discussing an announcement for live weekly Ring of Honor television. Whether it be on TV or on YouTube, or maybe the streaming deal comes out. I don't know. I don't know, but like we're getting very close to this weekly Ring of Honor television show. So
yeah, that'd be great.
They're going to be making Ring of Honor, like, especially when you get to this weekly Ring of Honor show, you're going to want to lean on Ring of Honor staples, as well as being what is Ring of Honor to you? Let me ask you this: what's Ring of Honor to you, Jeff? How, like, every company's got its like thing. If I ask you, like, what is Ring of Honor to you?
So, what is it now? I would say now Ring of Honor is Tony Khan's NXT would be the best way for me to put it. But if you want to say what it used to be, I think it used to be the indie place to be. So if you weren't in one of the major places, it was the place to be of the indies.
So I agree with you. I think you've made some very astute observations of Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is meant to be, again, kind of what you're saying, but it's like it's the future of pro wrestling.
Okay.
Everybody takes from Ring of Honor.
I like that.
Well, back in the day. Like WWE, all these NXT guys, like Seth Rollins, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to go off on a tangent. We're already in a tangent inside of a tangent. So Seth, but Ring of Honor produces these talent, like CM Punk was a Ring of Honor guy, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, like these are Ring of Honor guys who went to Impact and WWE, and some of in the later years AEW. Like that's just what Ring of Honor is. It's its legacy. So they're gonna want to lean on that legacy. But the other side of Ring of Honor is it's looking towards the future. So like they're going to, like, what we're going to see from this weekly Ring of Honor show is it's not exactly going to be Tony Khan's NXT. It's going to be that, but it's going to be more than that. It's going to be one eye towards the future, but one eye respecting the past. Ring of Honor is based on respect. Yeah. That's why the whole thing is the honor code. I mean, like, yes, it's a gimmick, but it's also just, it's respect. So it's like they're going to do this. They're going to have Jay Lethal be a staple on Ring of Honor. They're going to have Christopher Daniels wrestle. When Bryan Danielson's healthy, I guarantee you he does at least some work in Ring of Honor. Claudio, who was in Ring of Honor, is probably going to be the Ring of Honor World Champion. You know what I mean? Like, the Briscoes are coming back for another Ring of Honor show. I do think the Briscoes are going to sign with Ring of Honor. I know that the stuff came out of that the executives don't want them on AEW, but maybe they're on Ring of Honor. We're not doing a prediction show for Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor, right? We're not doing a prediction show.
No.
I have this feeling in my gut, especially now because the AEW tag titles are not going to be like they're not doing this Bucks FTR thing. I have a feeling FTR might drop the belts to the Briscoes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking they were going to drop the AAA belts to the Lucha Brothers as well. Like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I do think that, and then I do think they're going to focus on the AEW titles once they're done dropping their other belts. Unfortunately, I think that I would say it's a misstep on Tony Khan's part. I think we were this close to having FTR hold 4 tag titles, and that would have been fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But
Did
so
you
anyway,
see?
yeah. Sorry,
Did
go
you
ahead.
see Dax's tweet responding to somebody? Somebody had said, hey, the Bucks are ducking you guys, and Dax was like, yo, your spell check changed it to ducking, insinuating like they're fucking you guys. So I'm like, oh man, are the Bucks kind of playing one of those power moves of like, you know, we're the best tag team in the world, we're not gonna let that happen? Or is this storyline? Which I don't see the Bucks being like that at all. So I think it's
No, I don't think the
storyline.
Bucks are like that at all. I think that's a
100%.
storyline thing. I think that's 100% a storyline
Yeah.
thing. In fact, from what I heard, this was via Dave Meltzer. The plan was never for FTR Young Bucks 3. Like that's just not on the table right now. Like that was at no point a plan. So what do
Yeah,
we know?
that makes sense. I thought the reason that they took the belts off of the Bucks, my first thought was, okay, so now FTR can take it from somebody that's not the Bucks. Like that was my first thought. So
Yeah, but I don't think that would have been the way to do it. I think that you have both teams go into a match as champion, winner takes all. I think it's way more impactful. So if they
yeah.
were going to do the Bucks versus FTR, I would have the Bucks going into it as the AEW Tag Team Champions. But they're
Yeah.
not, so that's not what we're doing.
Yep. We'll see. All right, so next up we had Athena and Chris Statlander versus the Renegade Twins. Now, oh my god, am I so torn on this match because I love Athena and I love Chris Statlander. Athena's wings were unbelievable. I'm getting rid of him for a second. Athena's wings were unbelievable. Like, I love these girls, but I am such a huge Renegade Twins fan, and to see them get squashed tonight hurt my soul. It really did. But other than that, other than me just being a huge mark for the Renegade Twins, this was great. This was what it needed to be. Athena and Statlander squashed these girls with a quickness, a couple of
As
big.
they should.
Yes,
As
I
they
agree.
should.
I agree, but I'm a mark for the Renegade Twins, so I was very
Yeah,
upset.
I get it. They're cool. I like them too, but I knew you were gonna say this. I fucking knew it. I was sitting there and like I didn't write it down, but I was like when I saw earlier today it was the Renegade Twins. I was like, oh okay, Jeff's gonna say something about them because he likes them a lot. I like them too. This isn't me hating them.
They were almost
They're
the
good,
thumbnail.
but they're not booked
This
in a
close.
way. Yeah, sure. But so like they squash them as they should. They're the two women who are like chasing Jade Cargill's title right now. They have no business like even entertaining the thought of having a 2-minute match with the Renegade Twins. Like they're not signed. They're not their
100%
status
agree.
in the company is extremely low.
I agree.
Doesn't matter. Like you can like them. That's fine. I like them too. But this was a perfect segment. Because it was quick. Chris Statlander and Athena got their cool entrances. They got to look good. They hit their finishers. They squashed the Renegade Twins. It sets up for Layla Gray coming out, or she was in the baddie section. It had her coming up to the ring, and then we do this whole the baddies come out and they kind of make the save. But they still don't really accept it. We're working our way to it. Again, old man Jeff last week was like, I don't understand like Layla Gray and the baddies. And I'm like, Jeff, it's called storytelling, my man. Like, I don't know what to tell you, like, at this point.
I get it
and
now.
Big T,
I'm
Big T member of the faction. I'm going to name the faction real quick based off what Big T says. So this faction's called the King's Court. That's our faction. Me, Big T, and Jordan. Coach, you can join too if you want. We're the King's Court, and Big T of the King's Court really laying it down here. Listen, the Renegade Twins are good, but right now they're in a throwaway jobber position. He definitely thinks they need to be reestablished on the roster, and I agree. I like them. But Big T, let me know what you think about the King's Court. I think it's a great name. I really like that. I'm down for that.
Whenever Jordan comes back from his leave, we'll have to see how he feels about that too.
Yeah, for sure.
The coach saying that Statlander needs to win. She looks so amazing from when AEW started until now. She's just fire, and he is correct.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Statlander is so great, and I really hope that this feud ends with her winning the TBS title. I really, really, really hope so.
Yep, same. But yeah, it was a great squash match. Great squash match. I liked how Layla came in the ring to kind of like establish herself as one of the baddies. She started to get beat up a little bit, and Jade and Kiera Hogan actually came out for the save. But then Kiera Hogan kind of pointed out to her, like, you made us come out here to save your dumb ass. And it's like, hey, at least she did something, you know? But I think Stokely in the story, I think it's going well. I enjoy the story that's happening here. I actually like Layla. I was very surprised that they chose her to, you know, join these baddies here. It almost feels like she's been signed. I don't think we've had a graphic for her yet, but it feels like she's been signed.
I don't think she's been signed, but I think that she's someone that's done a few dark matches, and Tony Khan likes her look and likes the work she's done. And because again, that's how these jobbers really get over, is it's a look thing. And Tony Khan, he brings back the good enhancement talent who look good. That's why he does bring the Renegades back, because they are good. They're just not there yet. They're not ready to be established. They're not established. And Layla Gray was someone who had done a few of these matches. Big T saying Purple brought up a great idea about Jade going 50-0. He would love that. I don't know if we should go that long. I mean, she's only like 36 right now, I think. 35.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, you'd have to have her wrestle like twice a week, every week, to get to All Out and get to 50-1. Coach is right. Jade's power, she is super strong. It is crazy.
It's funny to see people's tweets on Twitter that are like, sometimes I wake up and complain that I have to go to the gym, but then I remember, you know, Jade Cargill, and they post a picture of her just like rock solid. I'm like, man. I'm like, that makes me not even want to get up out of bed, seeing how fit she is.
Yeah, and she, like Big T said, she's only been in the industry for 2 years.
That's wild. She's
right.
only got room to grow. All right, so next up was Lee Moriarty and Stokely actually backstage doing an interview. And it felt like Stokely was kind of trying to get Lee Moriarty to join the, join the baddies. I don't know if that would be the right way to put it, or maybe just join him. I don't know if he's going to be like a separate manager like Mark Sterling is for a couple people, but either way, I think that's a decent pairing up right there. And then we had Matt Sydal come out, and he basically says, no, go with me, and you're going to face Dante.
He was like, I love the way that it was sold, right? Because Matt Sydal was like, you don't need Stokely Hathaway. He's like, I have the opportunity of a lifetime for you, right? And I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna get Mox on Wednesday, or you know what I mean, like something like that, like you know, a title shot, maybe a shot against Wardlow, you know, something like that. I'm like, oh, he's getting a title shot. He's like, bro.
Hold on. I'm not doing this because of you, Jeff. I'm doing this because of fucking Matt Sydal. He's like, I have the opportunity of a fucking lifetime on Friday on Rampage, Dante Martin. And I'm like, oh.
Me, exactly.
Okay. That'll be a fun match. And then, of course, Dante Martin he has to be there. He's like, peace, love, and pro wrestling. And I'm just like, yeah, I was like, at that point, I was like, yeah, Lee Moriarty's joining Stokely Hathaway. He absolutely is. Like, there's no way that Lee Moriarty there's no way Lee Moriarty is going to, like, be like, yes, this is the opportunity I'm looking for to wrestle Dante Martin on Rampage. Like, no, that's not what's going to happen. So what's going to happen is we're going to see it next week on Friday on Rampage. We're going to see Lee Moriarty beat Dante Martin, probably not clean. He'll join Stokely, and I don't know if he's going to join the baddies or not. That's that is a question to be asked. Like, are they going to have Lee Moriarty join the baddies? I don't think so. I don't know if that fits. I do think it's interesting, however, these heel turns, man. We got a few heel turns happening between Gresham and Moriarty. Like, if it happens, you know. Yeah, thank you, Coach. Yeah, and like, here's the thing: I don't dislike Dante Martin, but like we've talked about it before. The guy can't talk, and so like that was like the icing on on the sour cake, on the old moldy cake. That was the icing on the cake for me. Where it was just like
almost wondering if this is how we were supposed to feel, and then we were going to be like, okay, yeah, he's leaving for sure. He's going over to Stokely.
Yeah, probably. It probably was, because it's just like, again, like that's how I felt. I definitely feel the way that Lee Moriarty, the character, felt during this promo. Like, which is great. That's what, that's the intended outcome. Where it's like, I'm like, yeah, why? Like, yeah, Lee probably should join. Like, I'm watching this promo, right? Here's my reaction. Here's my thought process. You know, Lee Moriarty's talking. Stokely shows up. I'm like, oh, Stokely Hathaway, hello. And you know, he gives him his card. I'm like, that seems like a very enticing offer. You know, Matt Sydal, love the guy, but he's kind of just a hippie. You know what I mean? and so, like, he rips the card up. I'm like, why did you rip that card up? And you can see Lee's face. Lee's like, why did you rip that card up? And then he's like, I have the opportunity of a lifetime for you. And I'm thinking, okay, it's a title match next week at some point for Fyter Fest week 2. And I'm like, that has to be what Lee Moriarty's thinking too. And then he's like, Rampage, it'll be like on Rampage. And he's like, yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
Versus Dante Martin. And Lee's just like, oh.
That reminded me of that GIF. You ever seen that GIF where it's just like person after person just face palming, just like
yeah. Yeah.
It's from a movie or something, like Airplane or something.
It was a chain effect. And it was just, I was just like, I don't know why Lee Moriarty would stick around at this point. Because Stokely makes a great argument. He's had matches against Bryan Danielson this year. He's had matches against a bunch of guys this year, some marquee stuff. And, if he's not doing anything, then, I think Lee's going to end up on Ring of Honor. So maybe Stokely does some double duty and works AEW and Ring of Honor. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
Big T says he loves where the Lee Moriarty thing's going. He doesn't like the idea that they're using Dante as potential straw that broke the camel's back for Lee to get away from Sydal. Well, the problem is that Dante Martin has kind of been with Matt Sydal, so it just kind of works out. I mean, also, again, no offense to Dante Martin, but apart from his in-ring work, the guy is not good. So,
I mean, yeah, he's great in the ring, but man, I feel like his brother should be his microphone, man. His brother, even if he's injured, he should be there on the microphone.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was in a car accident, so it's pretty serious stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if he should be even traveling yet. Like, we don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, speedy recovery to him if he's still recovering. Next up was, I am sure, your favorite segment of the night. Yes. The Gunn Club comes out to explain why they did what they did to the Acclaimed, and ruined one of our favorite, I guess, factions, we could say.
Once again, factions, man.
And, before we could get much of an explanation, the Acclaimed music hits, and Bowens comes out fully dressed in his gear, ready to go. So I loved seeing that, man. Great to see him back, ready to go. No rap. They storm straight down to the ring, and Big Daddy Ass basically asks for he says, "Scissor me, Daddy Ass," which I don't know if that was a mistake on his part because he's Daddy Ass, but it was what it was. And he gets a super kick for his efforts from Bowens. They start to brawl a little bit. They kick the Gunn Club out of the ring, and then we get ourselves a nice little acapella rap. Well, what did you think of this one?
Well, yeah, I fucking love this segment. I thought the segment was great. So, kind of just rewind, unpack. I did enjoy... I enjoyed the way Billy Gunn looked at this. He was just kind of like, look, man, like, I treated you guys better than I treat my own kids. It's nothing personal. It's just business, and the Acclaim come out. They come out of the babyface tunnel, which is awesome. Just so cool.
Yep.
And like, yeah, they don't have the mics, and I'm just like, oh shit, like this is like them debuting as a baby face, and like, no, they're here to fight. And I was like, that is the direction that they did this for the Acclaimed was different, but it was great. Like, I think they were trying to test it out to see how it was going to work. Like, I think that they were trying to see, like, can we do something a little bit different now that we're baby faces? Yes, coach. I am also a huge Acclaimed fan. I need to buy the hat. They have the new hats.
Yes.
I gotta buy one. But so I love them trying something different here, where they had Max and Anthony Bowens. They came out to fight. They show up. Billy didn't really mess up, in my opinion. I think he was just trying to keep it word for word what the gimmick is.
Yeah.
With the Scissor Me Daddy Ass. So, and like, there was no Bowens feeding him the line, so Billy had to be the one to say the line. But I like how Billy's just like, look, man, we're just gonna go our separate ways. We're not gonna fight. Let's just do it one more time. Scissor Me Daddy Ass. And Bowens fucking decks him with a super kick, and I popped. I popped so hard. And the fact that, like, because obviously I love the Scissor Me Daddy Ass thing. So it's like, the fact that I popped at that not happening it's excellent. It's just excellent stuff.
Yeah.
I loved this segment. I think that I'm so happy that the Acclaimed are going to be, baby faces moving forward. And this is not, like, I don't know if it's going to happen because of how stacked the division is, but like, I want the Acclaimed to be the World Tag Team Champions by the end of this year. Like, 2022 needs to close with the Acclaimed being the Tag Team Champions. And I understand bias, probably. You don't know. It's not bias. These guys are fucking over as hell. They're extremely over. They're up and coming. Like, put the belts on them. Like, I don't know.
They're
that's
very
what I would
over.
do.
Absolutely, I agree.
They're extremely over, and they're great in the ring. Characters are great. They're probably moving merch. They just came out with new merch, and I'm gonna go buy the merch.
Yeah.
So it's like Big T says, available at AEWshop.com.
Yeah. Now,
Or
whether
shopaew.com.
you order the hat or I do, you order two or I'll order two because I want one as well.
We might as well save on shipping. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, you buy the two hats and I'll pay you back. We'll figure
Perfect.
it out.
Yep.
Yeah, do that.
There's as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, we need this hat. Like,
Absolutely. I saw it too. I saw it before you sent it to me. I was like, yeah, I really
Yeah.
need that hat. I just spent a lot of money on Prime Day though, so it's just like, I had some great deals on Prime Day.
all
But
right.
yeah,
So
this was,
next,
I love this. Sorry, I love this segment, and like you said, we got a little bit of a freestyle, you would call it, from.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're all freestyles, but it was a little bit of a no beat freestyle from Max Caster.
The
And again, I felt
acapella.
like this was. Yeah, I mean, it's acapella, but it's not like, I don't know if that's, yeah, it's acapella.
it's no music. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that they were kind of experimenting with this promo again to see, like, what can the Acclaimed do, and it works. Because instead of, like, as baby faces, they might not always be coming out to the ring, to do the rap. Like, can they do it from in the ring? Like, that's how I kind of took this. I feel like there was a lot of experimentation here, and I think a lot of it worked.
Yeah.
Which was
And
great.
the great thing about the Acclaimed is he can do the rap no matter if they're heels or if they're faces. He just got to direct it at the people in the ring, and it works no matter what. These guys can do almost anything with this character. I love it.
Yeah, and something else that's it's not a small thing, but I guess it's a small thing in the grand scheme of things. So I follow Max Caster on Twitter, and people, when they were heels, people were constantly asking, oh, when are you going to release the Acclaim theme song on streaming services? You know what I mean? Like, oh, when are you doing that? And Max Caster said, the Acclaim theme will never be available on streaming services, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, they said that. But they are available now. So, I thought that was great because, like, as soon as they turn babyface, they released the Acclaim theme song, which you can get. And they have a lyric version too. And then they also did a really funny cut where they took Jim Cornette and edited his words to make it seem like he's rapping over the Acclaimed theme.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you saw this. It's amazing.
I didn't.
You should check it out.
I'll have to check it out.
It's really good. And yeah, like Big T said, I said earlier, they came out of the babyface tunnel. Yeah, and you are correct. It was the first time they came out of the babyface tunnel. And yeah, man, this is a feud of two very future top tag teams in AEW, in my opinion. I mean, the Acclaimed are awesome. The Gunn Club is awesome. They've really come into their own, in my opinion, in the last year. They were kind of generic when AEW started, but they've improved. They found their groove, as it were.
100%.
Yeah, I loved it. I just loved it. I loved everything about this, from Bowen's like just super kicking the hell out of Billy Gunn to just everything else. Like, this was just so great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And one of the things I wrote down is Colton Gunn had a double man bun. I had never seen this before on anybody other than Layla from Star Wars. Or Leia, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Layla Gray. But Leia from Star Wars, he had a double man bun on top of his head. That as soon as I noticed that it was a double man bun, I started laughing uncontrollably for like 30 seconds at the guy. I love the Gun Club. I really hope that something happens in storyline where they actually do adopt the Ass Boys thing and they take the theme song, but it's probably not going to happen.
I think that would be a bad call. I think that the fun of it and the greatness of it is like they don't like it.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
And it should stay that way. Like, if they embrace it, it's gonna lose the luster.
Yeah, I can agree with that. All right. So if you guys have not, please hit that like button for us. We're always trying to get up there to 10 likes. We're only at 5 right now, and I see about 15 to 20 people in chat. Please hit that like button for us. Next up was the main event. It was Private Party versus the Lucha Brothers. And, I always love these pre-match promos that they do with Mark Henry. And the Lucha Brothers got back to doing their promo in full Spanish and had Alex Abrahantes say, Penta says and Fenix says. I thought it was great getting back to the whole Penta says thing. It feels like we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, definitely. So there was here's a little tangent that I saw, that it's kind of crazy how long Alex Abrahantes has kind of been around. So I saw on Twitter the other day a Rock promo from like 2002, and The Rock is talking to Alex Abrahantes, and I was like, wow.
And The Rock says,
yeah, right. That's funny too, I guess. But yeah, it's not relevant to this at all, but it's just something I saw that I thought was really cool. I was like, oh wow, Alex Abrahantes has been around. Like, he's doing work with The Rock in 2002 on Monday Night Raw. I'm like,
and
okay.
You almost can't deny that he may have gotten the inspiration for, Penta says from the whole The Rock says thing, but it's kind of a natural thing for an interpreter to say that, you know what I mean? But it was wild to see that.
Yeah, Coach, go look it up. I didn't watch the whole clip, but it was like a clip. It was like a 5-10 second clip of The Rock turning to talk to him, and like he was doing like the Brahma Bull thing at this point, like where he was like the Hollywood guy. He had like the leather vest and like stuff like that douchey 2003 2002 heel Rock. And yeah, he's talking to Alex Abrahantes, who's like an extra, and I was like,
that was wild.
Wow. Yeah, crazy.
All right, so this match, man, this was a great match. I actually was kind of down on Private Party these last few weeks here, and they definitely turned me back around here. I'm a fan again. I thought the Lucha Brothers and them had a great match here tonight.
Yeah, Private Party is super talented, and you just hated them because they beat Bear Country. But yeah, no, they're super talented. I thought that this was a really fun match, good match. I hated the ending though. I thought the ending was super sloppy. Was not a fan of it. Didn't.
Yeah. You talk about the part with Roosh?
Yeah. So like Roosh comes out and he hits
Penta.
Who was it? Penta. He hits Penta. Hits Penta, and then Penta like instantly like no sells it, and they just kind of like. I feel like I blinked and I missed it. Even it was like.
So
I was like, oh, Roosh is coming down to interfere. Like, I'm not saying that Private Party needs to win after that, but it was so quick and it felt so worthless. The intervention felt so pointless and so worthless that on a blink of an eye, Penta was
Yeah.
getting hit by Roosh, but then ended up getting the win. And also it was sloppy because it's not really Bryce Remsburg's fault, but Roosh pushed Penta all the way up to
Exactly.
Bryce, and it made Bryce look so stupid because Bryce can't turn around because that's the match.
Yes.
But Roosh is literally standing next to like this is Bryce Remsburg right here. This is his face, and Roosh is here.
He's
You know what
like
I
you
mean?
and
He's
me side by side on this screen. He was like that close to him.
Yeah, there's no way that Bryce Remsburg did not, even out of the corner of his eye,
Yeah.
see Roosh, see Roosh.
That was 100% Roosh's fault. Possibly Penta being too close to Remsburg too, because if he was meant to fall down from the attack, he was way too close to Remsburg. I do agree that ending there was a little sloppy, but I don't let it crush the match for me. But yeah, that was a little bit sloppy right there. It did make Bryce Remsburg look stupid, but he had no choice, like you said. If he turns around, he catches Roosh in the middle of the ring, and then what does he do? He doesn't have that planned out yet, so
Yeah, the coach is right. They set Bryce up in a bad way, and it sucks because Bryce is Bryce is probably my favorite ref. I love Bryce Remsburg.
Yeah, and I think most of us were smart enough to notice that it wasn't his fault.
No, it's not. The only ref who really messes up on a regular basis is Paul Turner.
Yeah.
No offense to Paul Turner, but the guy messes up more times than he probably should.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. He's serviceable.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just kind of crazy. It's like it looks so bad. Like Bryce is just there. I think at one point he even turns around. He's like, oh,
he turned around and he was like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, he's like, this timing is really not right, guy. You should already be out of the ring. But
yeah,
I
almost think that they should have the referees hey, in case this happens, turn around and throw his ass out or something. You know what I mean? But it was too close to the finish. I don't think he had any choice but to just pretend like he didn't see anything.
Yeah, but again, the way that the match ended anyway with the interference, I would have just not done the interference. Just don't do it.
Yeah. I did, however, really enjoy the Black Fire Driver by Fenix. That thing looked nasty. That was one of my favorite finishes I've seen Fenix do, in a singles type, where only he did something to somebody. That was sick.
Yeah.
All right, and that was it. That was our episode of Rampage tonight, night 2 of Fyter Fest. I thought we had a great night here. We set up some of the pay-per-view coming up for Death Before Dishonor. I actually can't wait to watch that. I'm glad we're not doing a prediction show. I don't want the pressure on that watching. I just want to have a nice night of watching and eating some curlies.
I mean, also, I don't want to embarrass you. This is Jeff. Did you know
that not only am I the longest reigning and defending Broken Predictions champion, but I'm also the youngest in the history of the podcast.
This is true.
Yep, these are all facts. I'm the longest reigning defending. I'm the youngest champion in history. I've broken literally every record. You name the record as champion of this podcast, and I have beaten.
Well, we could say that since you're the first champion, you are currently setting all of the records. Every second that goes by, you are adding to your records. So,
yeah, I mean, that's one way to look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm the champ. And so, yeah, I want you to enjoy Death Before Dishonor. So we're not going to necessarily do a prediction show. Thank you, Big T. Also, it's kind of hard to do a prediction show for these types of shows when there's no weekly product.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we have some storyline stuff, but there's no weekly product.
Yeah.
So that's kind of difficult to do.
And speaking of weekly product, once there is a weekly product for Ring of Honor, we will be doing a show for that one as well.
Correct.
All right. So what do we have here for next Wednesday? Do you have what we got lined up already?
Yeah, definitely. Big T, we will be giving predictions, but it's not going to be our point scaled competition predictions.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, no worries. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so the plan for next week, for those of you that are joining us, new, and thanks for checking us out. So we do pre-shows and post-shows for the pay-per-views, prediction shows and post-shows. So next week, here's what next week looks like for us. We're gonna do a post-show on Dynamite. After Dynamite, we'll be there. We'll talk about Dynamite. Friday night after Rampage, we will do a post-Rampage show. We will also preview Death Before Dishonor, and then Saturday night, immediately following Death Before Dishonor, we will be live to go over that pay-per-view.
Yes.
So please subscribe if you're here. Check it out. For those of you wondering, I'm the champion of the podcast because we do a prediction competition for every major AEW pay-per-view. I am currently the reigning, defending, undefeated world champion. There was a clown that used to be on this podcast, but he doesn't come around here anymore because I fired him, more or less. He was a sore loser, and then he was a sore winner, and I just had enough with the guy. So, plus there's this whole story about me not getting an amiibo. Like, this was years ago. If you're new, you'll get caught up as time goes on, but it wasn't good.
Mohammed, thank you for the subscription.
Thank you, Mohammed. You rock.
Sorry to
Appreciate
interrupt you there.
No, it's okay. I was done. Anyways, next week we have some awesome stuff next week. It is Fyter Fest Week 2. On Dynamite, we have Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho in a barbed wire everywhere match. Now, JAS is banned from ringside because they will be hanging, they will be suspended above a shark tank in a cage.
Big T says he lost count. Did he pick up the microphone again? I don't think so. Not in the past few seconds.
No, I did. I did pick up the microphone.
Yes. Oh, there you go. Count it.
Yes. Big T also asking, next week, are we going to do a Friday night show or take Friday night show and add it to the pre-show of Saturday's pay-per-view? That's kind of up to you, Jeff. I think we'll probably do everything Friday night.
Yeah.
I think that'll work better. So yeah,
that'll work better.
There's not going to be a Saturday pre-show. It's going to be a Friday night Rampage show and a prediction preview show for Death Before Dishonor. Moving on, we have for Fyter Fest Night 3, Week 2, the Varsity Blondes will face Christian Cage and Luchasaurus.
Okay. Hope we get some more broken tables in that one.
Probably. Brody King will face Darby Allin, which is going to be fucking awesome.
That's going to be insane.
And then an interesting match that was added, we will have the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, versus Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta.
What?
Yes.
I'll take that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm really excited for that one. I mean, obviously, Jericho Kingston's the match of the night that I'm most anticipating, but like the next match is gonna be Best Friends versus Mox and Yuta. Like that's gonna be really cool.
I love me some Wheeler Yuta, and Jon Moxley's probably in my top 5, top 3 right now. So hell yeah.
And then we have one match announced for Rampage. Let me try to see if I can sell this match properly.
Excuse me. This Friday night on AEW Rampage Fyter Fest Week 2, Night 4, we will have the match of the century. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, on free television, on TNT, Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific, we will have the ultimate showdown of peace, love, and pro wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be getting fuck the barbed wire matches, fuck Moxley versus the Best Friends, fuck Death Before Dishonor. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting Dante Martin versus Lee Moriarty in the most influential wrestling match of the last 100 decades.
You say 100 decades?
Yes.
That is 1,000 years, isn't it? Yes.
That would be correct, sir. Did I do a good job?
I think you sold the match. I actually might want to see it now.
Chat, let me know. Did I sell this match? Are you guys psyched for
guys
Dante
pumped?
Martin versus Lee Moriarty? Let me know. Hopefully Tony Khan, call me. I could sell anything.
Oh man.
I once sold a pen to a GameStop manager. That's a true story.
That's a true story. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a true story.
I used to say when I was a kid, my brother could sell a ketchup popsicle to a lady in white gloves. But we're not going to get into why I would say that.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Thank you, Big T. The King's Court. Big T said nope. He's not excited for the match. Damn it. I tried.
Nope. Yo, have you seen the
Coach.
previews for that movie called Nope?
I did. So I'm not confused necessarily, but I was kind of caught off guard because the
Who's
first two
confused
trailers-
now?
No. I'm not confused in a sense of like I don't understand what's going on. I'm confused in a sense that like the tone of the entire movie changed from trailer to trailer.
It did.
The first two trailers make it seem like it's like a horror, like
Yep.
scary movie, and then like the third one makes it seem like it's a comedy. So like I'm not necessarily confused in the part that I'm a mouth breather or an old man, but I'm confused in the sense that like, this tone has changed quite dramatically.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what they were intending.
The preview on TV right now is definitely almost like a comedy, and the preview that I saw during Top Gun Maverick was like straight horror film. So I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But-
So when I saw Doctor Strange, we got the horror trailer, and
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay. And my friend D was there, and he was like, oh yeah, like all of his movies are like this. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Because I haven't really seen any of his Jordan Peele's work. Like I know of it, but I just haven't seen any of his movies.
Yeah.
And so we went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder over the weekend, and this trailer happens, and like the wife didn't see the first trailer, but she saw this one. She's like, "Oh, this movie looks so funny," and I'm like, "If you saw the first trailer, because I know what my wife doesn't like, I'm like, you would not want to see this movie if you had seen the first trailer. Like it's that different." But yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, so that's cool. You got anything else you want to run over with us tonight before we head out?
I do have a few things we could talk about. Anyways, real quickly, just to kind of go over because these things were officially announced. Yeah, Big T, like there's UFOs in it and stuff. So like Jeff mentioned earlier, we did get this announced today via a very awesome promo that's worth watching. The Briscoes and FTR at Death Before Dishonor is confirmed to be a 2 out of 3 falls match, which is great.
Nice.
And then we also got officially announced Mercedes Martinez versus Serena Deeb for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. And it was also officially announced tonight Jonathan Gresham will defend his Ring of Honor World title against Claudio Castagnoli.
That's going to be the match of the night for sure. Well, actually, the FTR Briscoes thing, never mind. But holy crap, that's such a stack card.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun pay-per-view. Something interesting that was also, I know we made the joke about Dante Martin and Lee Moriarty, so I kind of skipped over this, but it was also a graphic saying that Tony Khan will be making major match announcements for Rampage next week, which was a very odd graphic to put up. So we're going to have to keep our eyes social media and whatnot to see what's going to happen, because that was a very interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over a few other things that I got for us, Jeff. Number one, real quick, just right off the bat, I want to send some well wishes to Matt Jackson via Wrestling Observer. Meltzer said that he got a stinger in the match on Wednesday.
Yeah, and I actually noticed it when it happened. I was like, ooh, that did not look fun. It was the spot where Keith Lee and Powerhouse Will Hobbs gave him a suplex overhead. And instead of Powerhouse and Keith Lee both falling onto their backs for a suplex like you normally would, they kind of just dropped him down, and he landed right on his butt, right on his tailbone. And I thought that that's what he had hurt, because to me it just looked like he landed right on his ass. But apparently it jarred his neck in a way where he said he got a stinger and he was actually nervous for the rest of the match. So yeah, big I hope he comes out of this with no injuries or anything. Maybe hopefully it was just a stinger, because that's definitely concerning.
Yeah, I think based off how it seemed, I mean, he finished the match. He took some bumps even. Kind of crazy that he got hurt and they still had this really awesome match.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was worth mentioning. Um, I feel pretty good the fact that he finished the match. That it hopefully is just a very basic stinger, which is, it's not it's not a dangerous injury. It's just he's gonna be in a little bit of pain.
It happens. It happens in the NFL once in a while. A guy takes a hit the wrong way, something, it happens.
Yeah. Let's do an update on the Sasha Banks story we were talking about on Wednesday. So we talked about how she is going to be at C2 E2. Yeah, coach saying stingers are the worst low key to continue to wrestle with. Yeah, well, hopefully he takes a few weeks off. It's good that they dropped the belts anyway, because now he can just take a few weeks off and be good. Coach saying he got a few stingers, 4 of them to be exact, from football.
Yep.
Oof, that's
I
not
got
fun.
one.
No, you fell off a roof.
Oh yeah, but when I played football in high school,
right.
I definitely got one.
I remember that you told the story. Anyways, so Mercedes Vernado, aka Sasha Banks, Jeff, would you happen to know? Maybe you heard this story. Would you like to guess how much Mercedes is charging for non-wrestling appearances right now?
I heard it's somewhere around $30,000.
You are correct. So she's accepting non-wrestling bookings right now. And her cost is $30,000. This is coming out of Fightful, and Coach also got it correct with $30K. So Fightful was told that Vernado's asking price is $30,000 based on the opportunity, which a promoter said was quote unquote exactly as expected, elaborating that her demand should be high because she left on her own terms. She hasn't been a part of the convention scene previously and has a fan base willing to support her. It was mentioned that she's one of the most just off TV talent they've been quoted a price for, and it was comparable to Sting. The only talent they told us that were more expensive were Ric Flair, Goldberg, Shawn Michaels, and Hulk Hogan. That same promoter said they were more than happy to book her at that rate, and they know they'd make their money back on it.
She's worth more than that, if you ask me.
Coach saying he expects her there next Wednesday. I don't think she's going to be there next Wednesday.
We'll get to that in a second with the rest of this story, actually, Coach. So basically, whenever they were asked about doing wrestling-related events, they advised that Sasha is not doing any wrestling-related events until at least January 1st of 2023. Right.
Yes.
Now, that could be to throw us off, because she may have already spoken to Tony Khan. But if that's the case, that almost looks like it's a 6-month no-compete clause in the wrestling world for her. I don't know if it was just an agreement that was made to get her release, but I actually think it's designed to throw us off. I think it's to get us to forget about her in a couple of months here, and the wrestling world will be exploding when she shows up.
Yeah. Oh,
Heroes on the show. Oh man.
No, we don't have.
It's gonna take a few donations to the tip page for that one.
I mean, if you guys can get us to 30,000, we will absolutely bring it on. Yeah, that's definitely. But yeah, I do think it's a red herring. I do think we see her somewhere, most likely AEW. But yeah. I mean, we definitely see her. I'm thinking All Out. I do think All Out's the place we.
It's so funny to see the dudes on Twitter, the E-stands, that are like, she's gonna show up on Impact, and I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Listen, if she shows up to Impact, I will eat a full page of my notes on the pod. Okay? You guys can remember this. I don't know if that's a big deal or what, but I will eat a full page of my notes out of my notebook here.
The King's Court shall remember that, including our new special guest.
Yes.
Hello. Hi. How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Oh man, this is excellent. This is fantastic. He has hijacked the show. He is going towards the mic. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Tiger?
You can sit here. Yeah, this is Tiger.
What up, Tiger?
He's a very good cat.
We got a mascot now.
Yes, this is the mascot of the King's Court. Anyways, I think he's just gonna sit on my lap. That's fine.
Yeah, so
right,
in other e-news, they have announced that they are going to be moving back to TV 14 on Monday Night Raw.
Nope.
But then they announced that it is going to be pushed back until further notice, right?
Correct. So here's more so how it went down. So a memo came out. It was basically a memo that was picked up by Andrew Zarian of the Matt Man podcast. They basically got a memo from USA Network that starting this Monday Night Raw was going to be going towards TV 14 rating. Which at that point the Fed fans came out in droves, out of the woodwork, as it were, and they were very excited, especially because they used to say that you don't need blood and guts to have a good show, and now all of a sudden they're like, wow, Cody Rhodes can bleed, everyone. They're gonna use the B word all the time. It's gonna be great. So. Number one, we'll get into the second half of this story, but I just want to say, if you think that the fact that WWE is going to a higher rating, a more mature rating, is going to fix all of the problems that this company has, you're an idiot. Flat out. I don't think any of our viewers think that. I think all of our viewers are very intelligent people. So I'm not afraid to say this. If you really think that WWE being able to be a little bit more edgy is going to fix the bad booking and the camera cuts and the lack of storytelling, no. If you think all of those things, you're an idiot.
Yeah, blood and cursing is not going to fix the terrible booking that they have.
Not at all. And Cody Rhodes, again, let me just say, fuck Cody Rhodes. Let's just...
Did you see the smirk he tweeted out?
Yeah, he tweeted out like a smirk emoji, and I'm like...
It's like, he's like, I did that. That's what I took that as. I took that as he was like, that's me, I did that.
No, I took that as, I can't wait to bleed on Monday Night Raw every week. And I'm like, you have become the very thing that I fucking hate. And it's so ironic because I hate Cody Rhodes so much. And the fact that he's just like that, to me, that tweet was, I'm going to blade every single week. And to me, that's like, well, that takes the meaning out of it. Like if you're sitting here like, I can't wait to just blade every week, then like adding color is great, but it needs to be warranted. I don't want to see Cody Rhodes every week just get busted open because he can. And that was a critique in AEW that he did that, but at least it made sense. But he's sitting here not even in the company. He's at home hurt. And he's like, yeah, Big T, thank you. You know what? Oh man, Big T, that Big T isn't winning fan of the week this week, but that comment is fan of the week material. Blood and violence don't quiet NDAs. Thank you, Big T. That's excellent. But yeah, if you think this company is gonna get fixed because of that, you are out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah, that's another thing. But just so you know, I'm not sure you heard this part. Cody almost hemorrhaged during his surgery. Apparently, he started bleeding horribly bad on the operating table, and I don't want to say that he almost died or anything, but a hemorrhage is pretty bad, and he did lose quite a bit of blood on the operating table there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't wish death on anyone except for Vince McMahon.
But you know, I don't fucking like him. I mean that. Hey, yeah, maybe next time don't fucking go and wrestle a whole Hell in a Cell match after you tear your fucking pec off the bone. Like I have no sympathy for the man. I have no sympathy at all.
I honestly, it's probably like, it's probably shitty of me to say, but I think they were pushing him to lift bigger weights, and that led to the whole injury.
They were. Yeah, we talked about this back when it happened. That's absolutely what happened. It happened in the weight room.
Yep.
Here's the thing, right? There's a quote. There's a great quote out there, and it's either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Cody Rhodes became the very thing that we all fucking hated.
Yeah.
And like, are we being worked? Maybe. It would be the greatest work of all time if it is. But at the end of the day, the man went back to a company that didn't value him, didn't value his brother, didn't value his father, tried to make jokes of the whole family. Just look at the product; it's there. You can go back and watch it. Dusty Rhodes was a legend in the territories. Came to WWE, they put him in fucking yellow polka dots.
Yeah.
Dustin Rhodes' son.
Man made it work.
He made it work, absolutely. This is not a knock against Dusty Rhodes. His son, Dustin, Cody's brother. Dustin, again, excellent on the territories. Fantastic wrestler. One of the most underrated of all time. They fucking made him a homophobic, homosexual character in the mid-90s, which just people didn't like. Like they made this character in a time that was very difficult to make it work.
Yeah.
And Dustin Rhodes made the Goldust character one of the most beloved WWE superstars of all time.
Goldust was one of my favorites as a kid, man. I loved Goldust.
Yeah, Goldust is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? But like it was very cringy TV because people, if you think back to the early Goldust days, like I used to would go back and watch them on the network and stuff. Like they put Dustin Rhodes through some shit. They made him like purposely grab like people's crotches, like just for the shock value of it on TV in the 90s. You know what I mean? It's just like shit that Goldust probably or Dustin Rhodes wasn't super comfortable with, but he still owned that shit and he made it work. You know what I mean? But again, like they didn't respect Dustin. They made a mockery of him even though he made it work.
I gotta say, it's definitely a testament to the family that they've all been put through some shit and they have all fucking made it work, man. Like,
yeah, and again, even leading up to it, like they made Cody Stardust, and Cody left WWE and he made it work. But the problem is Cody used lies and deceit to make people think he was something that he wasn't, because you don't get to be the throne breaker.
I got a question for everybody
and then
here.
Go back on the throne.
Got a question for you and chat. Am I the only one that loved Stardust? I thought Stardust was freaking awesome. Or what Cody did with it, I thought was awesome.
I did not like Stardust.
No. Yeah, I know a lot of people disagree with me there, but I thought it was people joking around on Twitter.
I thought it was too obnoxious because, like, number one, like it was the Goldust character, but instead he was like a cat. He would like, I don't even know how to describe it. He was like a cat doing the thing and just like, I don't know. It was a very obnoxious character that I just didn't enjoy at all. Again, it like the fact that Goldust exists made it worse because Goldust was so cool while being Goldust, but then like Stardust was just like, what is this? This is like dollar store Goldust.
Yeah. I liked his entrance music though. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was fine, but yeah, again, it's just it's.
I thought it was at its best when he was with Goldust, and Goldust was just kind of looking at him like, Jesus Christ, why is this happening to me? Like, I thought that's when it was at its best.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, but so to have Cody Rhodes go back to that company, and not even that, but also become the very thing that they want him to be. You have to lift all the weights and you have to get bigger, and. It's disgusting to see. It's definitely a detriment. Like I said it when he first left the company. It's absolutely a black spot on his legacy, and like his legacy will be forever tarnished. And he's pretty much worthless to me in terms of
any way you want to look at it. Like I couldn't care less what he does. You know, that's just
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not liking that gentleman's name there. So Big T, if you want, you can bounce that for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
I thought about it. Well, yeah, man. I don't think the TV 14 rating is going to help them. A little bit of blood might make some of the matches better, but they're still going to be making these matches under the rules of the E, under the training of the E. You know, it is what it is, but all I can say is one day I hope Vince is gone and we can watch again, and maybe they prove us wrong one day. But until the day Vince is gone, it's about all I can say.
Well, so that's the funny thing is if, for me personally, if, you know, Vince dies and we start watching WWE and Cody Rhodes is there, I still don't fucking like Cody Rhodes.
No,
Like
I'll still root against him, you know, but
I won't even root against him. Like, for me, Cody Rhodes has go away heat, where it's like if I were watching WWE, like if I were to start watching and Cody Rhodes is still actively wrestling, I will legitimately not watch him. Like it's go away heat for me. Like you can't spend years saying you're one thing, and again, whether it's the character Cody Rhodes or, you know, it's the human being, the person, like at the end of the day, like you spent years saying that you were the throne breaker, that you were the anti WWE guy, and that you were out there to make it on your own and you didn't need WWE and all this stuff, and you said it for fucking years, and you make a subset of the fan base who felt disenfranchised by WWE, who felt left behind by WWE, by the product, that couldn't support it. Like, you made those fans feel like they had a place. Yeah, they had a place, you know, and to take that fan base and use that fan base to get big, and then just say everything I said over the last 6 years was fucking bullshit. How are you supposed to feel about that? Whether it be the character or the guy, like how are you supposed to react to that? You're just supposed to like be happy for him, like yeah, great, you got your money, but like just fuck off. Like, yeah, like the level of disingenuousness is just, yes, that is a perfect.
And I agree with what Big T is saying there. You know, he always planned this. You know, I think his long-term goal was to piggyback off of everything else, but the way that he went about it, of, you know, saying the things that he said. Now, if AEW had never been created and he went back, then of course we're not going to have this discussion at all. But because AEW was created, and the things that he said and the things that he did, it just made it that much worse. It's just super douchey. That's all. Like, I get it. I get he's going to take a massive payday for his family. Like, who wouldn't? But it doesn't make it any less douchey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that, like, the very blunt way that I put it, the very simple, the line that I always throw out there when I try to explain this to people is, you don't get to be the throne breaker and then go back and sit on the throne. Yeah. That's not how it works. If you want to go back there, then you shouldn't have done all those things.
Now, I like how Seth Rollins said it. You don't get to be the throne breaker and then come back and take my throne. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And like that's exactly. And it's just, yeah. And Coach, you are welcome in the King's Court. Absolutely. Jeff is fine. Jeff can, Jeff can go sit on the porch. That's fine. But anyways, there is a second part to this report. I know we went off on one of our famous tangents. But anyways, so for those the WWE fans, they were super excited that oh man, Raw is going to be TV 14. It's going to be 100 times better. Hold off on that, because Andrew Zarian, after reporting it, did backpedal a little bit, saying that the memo was sent out prematurely, and that the decision to do it has not been finalized. Fightful Select can also confirm that there was conflicting messages internally at the USA Network about the change. Those that Fightful made contact with at WWE hadn't even heard of the change yet, but they were going to look into the move. For those expecting a significant content adjustment, might end up being disappointed. While NXT has been racier content regularly, or has racier content regularly, it's still rated TV PG, and the content that airs is still up to the creator itself, unlike the MPAA for movies or the ESRB for video games. Cable and television shows aren't required to meet a certain standard in order to retain TV PG status, or move to TV 14 status. For instance, WWE could have very well self-rated WWE Raw at TV PG during the Attitude Era, with so oversight ramifications. However, input from the network and sponsors about the content is always taken into effect. So basically what this says, and no big T, don't worry about Jeff, he's fine. What this memo basically, the second part of this report is, that's great that USA Network wants to make the product TV 14, but that doesn't mean that WWE wants to make the product TV 14. This memo came from USA Network, and it was USA Network saying, this is basically USA Network's way of saying, hey, we would like to see your product be a little bit edgier. We see that what AEW is doing, and we would like for you to be a little bit more like that. Doesn't mean WWE wants to do it.
Exactly.
That's what that means.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I don't think some curse words and blood are going to fix the bad booking over there, but, you know, we'll see.
Not at all. No, not at all. It's not going to fix it.
All right. I think that's all that I got for tonight. You got anything else you wanted to add in there?
No, I think I covered pretty much everything. I'm just looking through my notes. Yeah, no, I think we're good. I feel like there was something that I was gonna mention, but I forgot what it was. So I think
no, Big T, actually, it's not actually the writer's fault. They put the memo out themselves, and then they had to be like, whoa, whoops, we forgot. We didn't mean to put that out this week. Sorry about that. So, like, they actually announced it internally, and then they had to retract it.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I think Andrew Zarian is a good source. I think he's pretty credible. Sometimes when they cover so I've listened to his show a few times, and, you know, obviously a lot more successful than us, which is fine. But I do get a little annoyed when they cover more serious topics. I feel like they often make light of some serious shit, like the Vince McMahon stuff. Like, they had some news about it that they were reporting on, and I was like, wow, you guys are really making light of this really shitty situation. But no, I think Andrew Zarian is a very credible source, and he got it from USA Network. It's not what he reported was given to him from USA Network. Like, it is a correct thing to report on. The problem was that USA Network, the representative, backpedaled, saying, "Oh, I should not have given it out as early as I did."
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not necessarily, these dirt sheet writers aren't always wrong. That's why it's worth reporting. You know, the Zarians, the Sean Ross Sapps, the Meltzers. It's why I report on their stuff a lot, because, you know, even if it's not true, there's often a saying where there's smoke, there's fire. So it's always worth talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. It is approaching 1 o'clock for us here. You want to go ahead and close us out tonight?
Sure. All right. Well, this has been episode 55 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe, or a follow, depending on where you find us. Thank you for everyone tuning in tonight live on our YouTube channel. Thank you also to everyone listening to us on YouTube post live, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor as well. You can follow us on Twitter at Broken Table Show, or you can follow me at XGamerForLifeX. It is on the screen below my picture. You know, we go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views. Just a reminder that the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view is this Saturday, next Saturday. This Saturday's tomorrow. Next Saturday on the 23rd, we will be live immediately following, you know, the show. We hope to see everybody there, including our Dynamite Rampage show. Please join us again next week. We'd love having you guys here. Until then, see you guys later.
Right on, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out. Please hit that subscribe button, and Top Guys out.